And we're rolling. Hey guys, it's your buddy Jake Dominguez, here to talk about movies like I always do. So, tomorrow is the Academy Awards, and I'm going to watch it just like I'm sure most of you watching are going to watch it. They're fun, it's cool, we get to see all our favorite filmmakers and actors and actresses and all of that. It's fun to watch. It's the biggest night for all movie-going people, right? For lovers of movies. We watch the Academy Awards. It's fun. I'm not here to diss the Oscars or anything, but I'm going to do something a little different than I see most people doing online. I'm seeing a lot of people putting their Oscar predictions and all that. A lot of people are posting what should win, what is going to win, all of that. It's all a big marketing thing at the end of the day. That's all the Academy Awards are about. They're all marketing, it's all promotion, that's all it is. And I'm not complaining about that. It just is what it is. I understand it. I'm not a member of the Academy, obviously, but if I was, I would play the game and all of that. And there is plenty of good that comes from the Academy Awards. We have movies that don't get a lot of attention, maybe, get deserved attention. Films like Moonlight, or, Hacksaw Ridge, tons of other movies wouldn't get the same amount of attention they would if it wasn't for the Oscars. It's great. But I'm going to do something different. I'm going to share 11 movies. 10 plus 1. 11 movies that did not receive a single nomination at the Academy Awards, will not win, weren't even nominated, but are still great movies. And I'm not even going to spend this whole video complaining about why they didn't get nominated, or at least I'm going to try to. And I'm just going to talk about how great these movies are, nomination or not. In the end, the Academy Awards are just a silly award show. What really matters are the films themselves. And since all these other movies are getting all the attention because the Academy Awards are tomorrow, I'm going to talk about these other movies that deserve some attention as well. So, the first on my list that received 0 nominations, much to my surprise, is a film called Patriots Day, directed by Peter Berg, starring Mark Wahlberg, J.K. Simmons, Kevin Bacon. This movie was extremely powerful. I'm a massive fan of Peter Berg. I was really glad to see Deepwater Horizon get a few nominations, but this is the best film he's ever made. It's powerful. It's just a true story. I have a little notification in my tablet there, sorry. It's the true story, and it never felt exploitative in any way. It just felt very inspirational, very documentary-like. It just shows what happened. Things like 3-act structure and that sort of thing do not apply in this film. Peter Berg and these other filmmakers are brave enough just to look at this horrible event and show all the good that came out of it. As strange as that sounds, but they did it. The acting is incredible in this film. It has what's easily one of the greatest shootout scenes I've ever seen in a movie. And it's just incredibly inspirational. This is a sad film just based on the subject matter, but you don't feel dark and heavy necessarily while watching it. It's just a very inspiring movie. And much to my surprise, it didn't receive a single nomination. But it doesn't matter. It's a great movie. I'm excited to pick it up when it next comes out. I'm a big fan of Peter Berg. Number 2, something a little different. An animated film, not just an animated film, a Disney film. Pixar, Finding Dory. Yeah, I'm including Finding Dory on this list because it was a big snub when it was not nominated for Best Animated Feature. And honestly, Finding Dory, this is going to sound like the silliest comparison of all time. And I know it, and only I can think of it. But have you ever seen the movie Before was it Sunset? Which one's the first one? Before Sunrise. No. Before Sunrise is the first one. Have you ever seen Richard Linklater's film Before Sunrise? It's an incredible film. He made a sequel to that film, much to everyone's surprise, called Before Sunset, which followed those same characters again, and everyone was shocked by what a great sequel it was, and how it made the first one even better. In a way, Finding Dory is kind of like Before Sunset, the Before Sunrise, being Finding Nemo. Is that a ridiculous comparison? Yes, it is, but there you go. I just made it. This movie was extraordinarily surprising to me. It's just Pixar doing what they do best. These great characters that we love from Finding Nemo are back. I was nervous about Dory being the main character. I thought we were going to have a Cars 2 situation again, but it was fantastic. I laughed, I got teary-eyed, the animation was extraordinarily beautiful. It was an entertaining movie. I love going to see a movie and being surprised, and Disney Pixar does it over and over again. I thought Finding Dory was a great movie. Number 3 is a movie I reviewed on my channel. It was like one of my first reviews I uploaded on here, but The Monster Calls. J.A. Bayona, Liam Neeson, Felicity Jones, Sigourney Weaver. This is an incredibly powerful film. It's a fairy tale brought to life on the big screen. I'll put a link in the description down below for my review, but it's incredible. Another film this is a little different, just a fun, entertaining movie, but The Magnificent Seven, Antoine Fuqua's remake of it. Now, some of you may be surprised I'm putting this on this list, this movie, but honestly, it's just so entertaining. Denzel Washington was great, Ethan Hawke was great, the whole cast was awesome. It was just a really entertaining movie. It was huge, it had some beautiful shots, the action was awesome. It was a really entertaining, fun movie. And I totally think it could have gotten a nomination for, like, the sound editing and the sound design, production design, all of which was excellent. It didn't, but it's an incredibly entertaining movie. I actually didn't get the chance to see this in the theater. I saw it after I rented it. Gonna buy it soon. I wish I would have saw this in the theater, because it's a great movie. I'm gonna watch it many times again in the future. The next film is a movie that I absolutely fell in love with, one of my favorite films of the year, Midnight Special. Jeff Nichols wrote and directed this film, and the guy's a brilliant filmmaker. Look up his other movies on IMDb. Just go there. I'm not even going to say them for you. Just go to his IMDb page, look up Jeff Nichols, watch every movie the guy has done, because he's brilliant. He made another film, which I unfortunately haven't seen yet, called Loving. And that got a few nominations, but I haven't seen it yet, but Midnight Special was incredible. It's a little bit of Steven Spielberg, a bit of John Carpenter, a little bit of John Cassavetes, but it's 100% Jeff Nichols. I don't even want to talk about it because of how much I loved it, but I saw it like almost right when it came out in the theaters. I drove like an hour and a half to go to a theater where I was showing it, and I couldn't regret it. Like, whoa, that didn't come out right. I didn't regret it. It was an incredible movie. I don't want to even say anything. Just go see it. It's incredible. Next film on my list, Captain America Civil War. I'm serious. I'm sorry. Great movie. All those characters, they were all fit together in one script, didn't feel like a mess. Incredible action, incredible filmmaking, period. There's some great screenwriting in Captain America Civil War. The whole film was extremely entertaining. It had some questions that weren't necessarily answered by the film itself. Incredible visual effects that you don't even think in your mind is visual effects because of how well made they are and how well integrated it is to the film. The Russo brothers stepped up to the plate and made an incredibly well-made film, period. Also, it's a great superhero film, period. That airplane sequence, what more can you say? It's amazing. Next on my list, Pete's Dragon. I don't know how to pronounce the director's name, David Lowery. I'm sorry, sir. Amazing filmmaker. Pete's Dragon, I think, is one of the best remakes I've ever seen. It's completely its own thing. It's just a magical, heartwarming film. All the acting is excellent. It's a fun movie. It's a funny movie. It's a heartwarming film. It's emotionally resonating. It is by far one of the best films I've seen all year. It's just a magical film. Again, I don't want to say too much about it, but just check it out. It'll make you feel like a child just watching it. It's such an incredibly magical film. Next film I got on my list is a film that I'm kind of shocked didn't get any nominations at all. The Light Between Oceans. Derek Cianfrance, I think I'm saying that right. I'm not really sure. I've heard a few different pronunciations. He directed The Place Me on the Pines, one of the greatest films of all time, Blue Valentine. He's a genius filmmaker. I was surprised by how much I loved this movie. The two leads, Michael Fassbender and that other actress, whose name I'm slipping on now, they're brilliant. Perfection. I loved it. This is a very melodramatic movie, very, romantic and stuff like that, but that's exactly what it's supposed to be. And it's done so extremely well that you can't complain about it. I loved this movie. I loved the characters. I loved all the filmmaking. I loved the music. I loved the acting. I loved almost everything about this movie. It's the kind of movie you go see that shows you what movies are all about. And it's such a quote-unquote Oscar-baity movie. I'm surprised it received no nominations, especially the two main cast members. But for what it is, it doesn't change the fact that it's not an incredible movie. Well, let's see, what more do I got on here? Hush. Some of you may not have heard about this film. Probably wouldn't get nominated. It's like a horror thriller film, but I believe the filmmaker's name is Mike Flanagan. It should be on Netflix right now. Just look it up and watch it. Great Hitchcockian thriller. Loved it. The last film on my list, believe it or not, probably the one that is the most surprising for me, but it's a horror film directed by James Wan, The Conjuring 2. I'm dead serious. There is some brilliant filmmaking in The Conjuring 2. The cast was great, and the characters were great. That's what makes this movie work so well and makes it so incredibly scary. The characters. I loved these characters. I could watch a whole movie without them, besides all the scary stuff. And when the scary stuff happens, it works extremely well. The Conjuring 2 blew me away. It's the best film James Wan has ever done. It's one of the best scary horror films I've seen in a long time. There is no reason that film should be that well shot, well directed. James Wan is on another level with all of his films. He's always been a very underrated filmmaker, but he blew me away with this movie. I am dead serious when I say it's one of the best movies I've seen all year. Those are just a few of movies that were released in 2016 that didn't get any nominations. And you know what? Who cares? They're still great movies. So while we watch the Academy Awards tomorrow, don't forget, no matter who wins, who doesn't win, what got nominated, or what didn't get nominated, it doesn't matter. Movies are awesome. They don't need any awards to change that. Movies are awesome. I think 2016 has been a great year for film. What are some movies that you loved this year that didn't get nominated for an Academy Award? I intentionally left out a few. Give me your comments and write down below. And never forget, I'm always there for you. I am your friend. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.